check out this big pile of gold. This is a bunch of wood chips from a tree service. This tree service is based a couple towns over, so I don't get all their wood chips. They only bring me their wood chips when they're in the area. But finally, at least I'm getting some wood chips. So I'm using this as pig bedding right now, and I'm using it in my box stall for the cows, which is just really a staging area right now for the cows. So I'm not using too many in there. But the real plan is to cover this whole area with wood chips and to use that for the cows in the winter as an exercise lot. Hopefully I can get more wood chips. I caught these guys as they were leaving this last time. I had 25 bucks on me. I handed it to the driver. I said, "What's that for?" I said, "Just thanks for bringing them. Please bring me more." And he says, "Well, how many do you want?" And I said, "Trust me, bring as many as you can. I'll let you know when you need to stop, but I don't think you will." I'm going to go ahead and get in the Bobcat and show you what we're going to do with these. I always love running the Bobcat, so you don't have to twist my arm to do that. I almost forgot to show you back here. This, I don't know. There's a lot of dirt in here. I'm assuming that this is from grinding the stump up. But hey, it's fine for me. I mean, it's not going to make that great of bedding. But as far as to make compost, it'll be great. Shut this gate, otherwise all the cows will be coming in here, tearing things up. It's actually right here that I'm driving over is wood chips. I'm doing a path this way of wood chips, and that's where the cows are going to be able to go from in the barn to in the back. Hey, get away from there. Come on. Trying to eat my tripod. Here comes Nelly. She'll really mess it up. So the biggest thing, man, this stuff is hard. Here's the rain. So the biggest thing when talking to my excavator, he said you just want to make sure that the water can drain. So like right here, I dug out so it would be, so I could have a foot of wood chips with and still match. Hey, get off of there! Come on! Get you! Are you gonna step on it? Ah! Go ahead. Nope. hard to get them stuck. Trouble is, once they're stuck, they're stuck. It'd been better if I would have finished this all from the start. But now, after it rained, all that water is just sitting there. Woo! Come over here, scoop this out, and I'll add some wood chips. Oh no, I did it. Getting to a little deeper. All right, so I got quite a lot of this done. Well, not really a lot, but I really wanted to get that done next to the compost pile. So I got that done all the way out. So you can see I'm using the dirt that I was shaving off from over there is coming and building this up a little bit, which, I mean, it's not like this has to be level. It could continue to slope down this way and that would be fine, but I have to go somewhere with the dirt. So that's where it's going. But you can see there, not really shaving much off once I get into here, but we're going to shave that off a little bit and bring it over here and level it off. So my idea is we're going to take a fence, probably like cattle panels, something solid, and run that from the corner of that barn all the way down to back here, go across, and I would like to go all the way to the edge of the driveway, which is like where that old castration stand is, and just cover this whole thing with wood chips. And the thing about the wood chips is, yeah, I mean, you're gonna have to dig them out. I don't know if I'll have to dig them out every year. I'm not sure. Depends how fast they decompose. Hopefully I can add to them for a year or two, and then it'll be a matter of digging them out, and it should be pretty much compost by then, and spread it on the field and or sell it. Justin Rhodes has that chicken run in front of his house. He just keeps adding wood chips to that, scrapes the wood chips to the side until you get down to that good compost, digs that out and puts wood chips back. So that's kind of the plan here. Hopefully I don't have to dig the whole thing out every year, because that would be kind of a pain in the butt, but if it is, it is. I want to use this for the cows in the winter, and then in the spring, after the cows get out on pasture good, I would like to have pigs and use this as a pig lot. So the pigs will stir it, I'll be perfectly fine with them digging huge holes in it. And actually, the pigs digging around will help it all decompose a lot better. Now, this is a little disappointing because a lot of this pile is this dirt here. Dirt and wood chips. Boy, that's hot. This is already, like, I can hardly hold on to that. That's crazy. Probably because there's so much moisture in there. I need to get a probe because I bet that's 200 degrees there. I'm not even kidding. I've never felt it that hot. You know, this actual wood chips up here aren't like that. But this must be so much moisture in this dirt and these roots. Yeah, that's burning up. That'll be good compost before we know it. Wonder if it's that hot back here. No, not really. I'm real excited to get a dent into that and have it start taking shape. Wanted to get this line done and try to figure out what I want to do for a fence here and start getting that put in. I'm probably only going to have a solid fence up to here. Maybe put a post in right here with a gate. And then have solid, like, cattle panel going down the rest of the way. And then here, I'll probably just do wire or a temporary cattle panel maybe in the winter. I'm not sure. How you doing, buddy? You're looking pretty good. You looked rough coming out of winter, but you look pretty good now. So I think that'll work out well. I'm sure we'll have to add a lot of wood chips here where we get high traffic. The other issue is where water seeps out from this corner. So I want to solve that, and maybe on the other side drill a hole through this wall and put in a crock and some kind of filter system, like maybe a couple crocks with tubes. I think even if I put a hole in the back, the water will still, because you get a lot of seepage out of there, I think it'll still seep out through that. And then have maybe 3 crocks with tubes on the top of them. And then the last one will have a pump and be able to pump that out into like an IBC tote or something like that. Mix it with water and make like a compost tea and pump it out on the field is kind of what my thoughts were there. But if I let it leak into these wood chips, it's just going to decompose them that much faster and make that much more of a mess. But real excited on how this is coming along. I definitely do like to feed hay out on the pasture in the winter. So as long as the ground freezes, I plan on still doing that. This is just for that, well, most of the time it's just a month in the fall and a month in the spring that the pasture's just too muddy and the cows are doing more damage than good. So I don't plan on using this all winter long, but it's there in case I need it, because this last winter I would have needed to use it all winter long. I should have had something like that, but I didn't. So it's a matter of being prepared for whatever's coming. I gotta go grill some burgers for dinner, milk the cows, and hopefully meet up back with you guys. So in my last video I said these guys were 3 weeks old, but they were actually 2 weeks old. They are now 3 weeks old. So the video was labeled right. I just misspoke because I was thinking it was my 3rd weigh-in. So that's why I said 3 weeks, but they're actually 2 weeks. The new numbers on these guys, the breast went from 194 grams last week to now 349 grams this week, which, they didn't double this time. It kind of slowed down a little bit, but the Cornish cross slowed down a touch too. They went from 486.6 grams to an average of 551.6 grams. So with all this being said, so if you remember last week, the Cornish Cross's feed conversion got worse, where the American Bresse feed conversion got better, and I was wondering if that was going to be a trend or where we were going with that. Well, the Cornish cross pretty much went right back to where they were. They were at a 1.3, and last week they were 1.5, and this week they're back to a 1.3 pretty much. So they're pretty much staying steady there, it seems like. Where the American Bresse did continue to get better. They were originally at, I don't have that number on here, I think it was a 3.5. Then last week they were at a 2.7, and now they're at a 2.3. So they seem to be converting that feed a lot better as they get older, which is very cool. A few other things to note. These guys go through at least twice as much water. I'm not saying that that's a deciding factor for you, just something that I noticed and to note. It might be 3 times as much water, I'm not sure, compared to the American Bresse. And if you look at their cages, which I got to clean out tonight, this one is nasty beyond belief compared to this one, where, you know, this one can probably go a few more days. But, so that's a few things to know. But here, I'll grab a couple, one of each out for you guys so you can see. So you can see the size difference with these guys. The American Bresse, pretty much fully feathered. These are both 3 weeks old. Hey, come down. See the foot difference. I mean, one thing to note, like, this Cornish cross, I mean, you can butcher this thing right now. It's got meat everywhere. Compared to that American Bresse, which is still pretty, the American Bresse still doesn't have a ton of meat on it yet. But you can see the joints on this thing look rough. The belly looks real rough. They're actually, you know, starting to look better now. So that's my update for this week. Next week there's a few more numbers I want to add up and things I want to figure out and bring to you guys next week.